everybody, welcome back to Showgirly Swag. I hope that you're all doing very well. Now today's look was requested by a subscriber and her name is Tara. She asked that I do eye makeup looks combining the colors red, gray, and black and blue, gray, and black. And so this is what I did today. Now as you can see, one of my eyes, the blue side, has the white liner in the waterline, and on this side I used black in the waterline. Now, as you can see, this side looks much more awake, right? And open. And this side is more smoky and sultry, more like bedroom eyes, right? Now for the stage, you want to go with this side because again, when you're on stage, everything is just smaller. So you want to make everything pop when you're on stage, okay? And look extra, basically. You apply a little bit more blush than normal, a little bit more eyeshadow than normal, etc., etc. Now, if you would like to see how I achieved these two different eye looks, then please keep on watching. Well, I did not hit the record button when I started doing the black. Ah! Well, we're gonna talk about it though. For the most part, we use black as an accent in the outer V to just really enhance things and make things look more smoky, sexy, sultry. So what I'm gonna just basically, I have it on. I'm not finished. It needs to be, blended. It needs to be blended better. But basically, I went in with this James Charles palette. I just used this black color in here. You can use any black color that you like. And when you're working the outer V, you wanna use a smaller brush. And you can use, like a pencil brush like this, or, a very small fluffy brush. I usually just go in with a small fluffy brush, go into the product, make sure you tap that out. Now I have makeup on. Now I have a full face of makeup on. I have foundation, concealer, bronzer, all the things. If you're not used to doing eye makeup and controlling the fallout, I recommend doing your, face makeup after, okay, your foundation and etc. So I'm going in with that black. Whenever we're using black, we want to make sure that we're creating a V and then working it in and buffing it in. So we're going to place the brush at the outer corner and then work downward. All right, and then from there, we're going to work in. Now there's that V right there. See that? Once you've added in the black, created your V, you take a clean-ish fluffy brush, blending brush. It can be smaller. This one's more tapered and pointed. I like this one because it's pointed at the end. It's a little bit of a mess from all the cleanings, but so I'm going to use the tip of the brush to basically do these little teeny circles and blend. Basically blend, blend, blend. You can bring it in, and I'm going so light. I'm light. It is just the lightest pressure. If you go too hard, you may move the product around too much. So you always want to start very light. So working those circles, you want to flick out if you like. You could flick outward and then work back in, or you can keep it more rounded. All right, and here's another clean brush. Here's a little tip. So if you ever, mess up, you can use any setting powder. I'm just going to use this Airspun. I'm just going to use this left over in the cap. Tap it out. And here's a little trick. If it goes down a little too low, or if you go a little too high, you use your setting powder to buff away the mess up. All right, so same thing on the other side. Edward pencil hands. I'm gonna do the same thing. So now I'm gonna hold the brush at the end. I'm gonna place the brush at the outer V, right? Draw that line going down, then in, creating that V. I always recommend you go down first. Go really far down, hit that lash line, and then work it in. Down, in, down, in. Then go in with your fluffy brush. All right, so I'm using the tip, and I am buffing little circles, holding the end, little circles, side to side motions as well. I'm going to go out just a little bit and back in. Notice how I'm tilting my chin up and looking down at myself in my mirror. I have a mirror right here. Okay, I'm gonna go in with the setting powder to clean up the edges and work it so that the product isn't, you always wanna make sure the product stays in the crease, okay, or in your eye socket, right in there. I'm losing the words, I don't know the words right now. In this crease area, you don't want the smokiness, the black, the blue, any colors to go up in your highlight area. This is the area that we highlight and have a light color, and the lower, portion is where we define and we, make beautiful art, basically. All right, so I'm gonna go back in with that translucent setting powder and buff away any mistakes. Okay, I'm gonna use that all over, really. And did you see how it really just kind of smoked it out and made the edges, softer? And do the same thing over here. Now, I don't know if you can see how I have some skips, so I'm gonna go in with that flat brush again, and I'm going to press the product in, just to fill in the gaps. So now we're just intensifying the color. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing with that blue on the other side of this brush. I almost always have to go back in with my lid color once I've finished blending my outer V to intensify, because it just somehow takes away the color. The color just like gets buffed out somehow, some way, or it just wasn't as intense. And if you notice how I have left the inner corner sort of free of color, and that's because I'm going to use a highlight in that area to really open things up. I'm going to blend some more using that same brush that I used to fix any issues with that translucent setting powder. I'm using the Airspun translucent setting powder. I'm just going to go in to really just smooth everything out. This is probably the best tip that I can give you. Now I'm happy with this. This is basically where I would stop. I'm going to go under my eyes a little bit with that translucent setting powder, just a little bit, just to sort of clean up the area. Now, some people may actually use translucent setting powder and basically place product under the eye as they're, like a lot of product under the eye as they're doing their eyeshadows, especially if you've already done your makeup. And then the fallout will fall all over that translucent powder, and then you'll be able to just basically, you know, buff that away. You know, always working outward, out, out, out. Now, I don't like to use a lot of product on my under eyes just because, you know, fine lines, I get really dry there. So I'm trying to stay away from like baking that area. All right, we have to do the lower lash line, and then we have to do the highlighter in the inner corner, okay? I'm gonna go in with the smaller blending brush. I actually have this one that I made. This is an old Anastasia Beverly Hills brow pencil, and this is an old e.l.f. brush that fell apart, and I really like the size of this and just the density. It's perfect for under your eyes. You could get that, you know, at e.l.f. You could get it at e.l.f. Cosmetics, you can get it at Walmart, Target, wherever they sell e.l.f. products. So I'm gonna go in with that gray color that we use, that mirror color from that Urban Decay palette, and place it under the eyes. Now, as far as the waterline goes, you can choose to go with the black in your waterline or the white. If you're on stage, I recommend going white, right? But I mean, again, you just do whatever you want. You know, if you want your eyes to really look more open, you're gonna wanna go with the white in the waterline. I think I'm gonna go for the black today in the waterline. Or maybe I'll do one eye one way and the other eye another way. That makes some sense. I'm not afraid to go low. It might look crazy right now, but go ahead and buff that out. I'm gonna go back in with that clean, fluffy brush and just sort of, you know, clean up the edges, just make it look a little smoother. Now I'm gonna use that same smaller brush. You could always use that other brush that we use for the black. Tap out, and I'm gonna place that on the outer corner. Same thing over here. And over here. Okay, we're going to buff again. Buff away. It's always about the blending. All right, so let's go in with the waterline. I'm gonna go, since this is already so dark, I kind of want to show you what it would look like if I put the white in there, and I'll do black on this side. So I'm going in with the Maybelline Lasting Drama. I'm gonna go back in with that brush that I used, the black color, and I'm going to get very close to my lash line. Now, for the whites, I'm using LA Girl. Definitely need to get a new one of these. She's been loved. And now you can stop here and you can, you know, pop on some lashes, or you can add some eyeliner, which is what I always do. If I'm going to place false lashes on my lash line, I don't like to see the tracks. So I want to place liner on my lash line, top lash line. And I'll most likely do a winged liner because that's just how I do. You don't have to do that. You could just place the liner right here, end it right there, pop your lashes on, boom, because you have so much going on already, okay? I've applied my lash glue to my lashes, and the lashes that I'm using I received from my BoxyCharm, and it's called Baddington Lashes. It was really cute. It came in this like box. All right, when you're doing lashes, you want to think about angling it in this direction and not in here, okay? So angle it down to place it on center. Notice my chin is up. I'm looking down at myself. I'm gonna work and place that outer part on first. The glue could have been a little more tacky and drier before I place them on, but that's okay. And then on the inner. Okay, You want to try not to blink and move your eye too much if the glue is not very tacky initially, because otherwise it'll move around too much. Now, one thing that I forgot to do was I forgot to put mascara on my real lashes first. Usually that's what I do so that I preserve my fake lashes. I try not to put mascara on my fake lashes so I can reuse them. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry before I do anything else. Make sure the line is straight and black. From here, we're gonna now highlight the inner corner and hit our brow bone as well. I'm gonna go in with Royal Flush right here. Another brush that I like to use for the inner corner is this dome brush. Right, and I'm gonna get that brow bone, other side. So this is the final look. It's really fun. I actually think I prefer the blue side. Go figure. But really, I mean, I like both. They're both really cool. They're both great. It also might be that I used the white in the waterline. It really makes it pop. This side just makes my eye look smaller, more sultry, you know, like I said before. But I would not stop here. You can totally just stop here and then go do whatever it is that you want to do. I, on the other hand, would add glitter and maybe do a little something extra. So I'm going to do that with you on camera. I'm not going to explain how I do it, I'm just going to do it. You can give it a shot and play around as well if you feel like you want to. Thanks so much for watching, friends. I will see you next week back here on Showgirly Swag. Bye.